Wildlife in main African protected areas faces increasing threats from habitat loss, human encroachment, and poaching. So, because of this problem, I built a machine learning classifier that is able to classify different animal species of different species from camera traps found in Australia, which include the dingo, fox, goanna, possum, and the koa. So, to train the total number of images are 17,000, and to do this, I split them into train, validation, and tests, with 70% of training and 15% for validation and testing. So I trained five different machine learning models, which include the classical ML models, which are the support vector classifier in the logistic regression. Then for deep learning, built a custom CNN model, and I also utilized transfer learning such as the ResNet 50 and the efficient NetB. So to do this, the first thing that I had to do was to train the support vector classifier, and the first step that I had to do was to extract the images with different ways, such as the work features in the RGB distribution. So to do this, the RBF kernel was utilized with the regularization parameter of 10. So for logistic regression, I also did this, and the maximum number of iterations were 1,000. So these were different methods that were used, and for deep neural networks, there were different experiments tried with different experiments which had different learning rates, and the optimizer, which was basically Adam. So these were the results after training. So the accuracy for the support vector classifier was 97%, which shows that each performed very well. Then for the logistic regression, this was the accuracy, but the best performing model was the ResNet 50, which got this one. So this was mainly achieved because the total images that were used here was uh, the image dimension was 224 by 224, which was good for ResNet, which is the main image dimension that it requires compared to the ResNet, compared to the efficient net. So these are all different graphs that I plotted. So I'm gonna show you how different models that were built. So this was the extraction part for the classical ML models. Then there was scaling. I had to scale the data so that it can be able to be trained. So this was the training, and after training, I had to visualize my training, and this was the confusion matrix that I did to see the accuracy and how best the model was performing. So this was accurate for the SVC, which is support vector classifier, and it had a better accuracy compared to the logistic regression, which was 86.73. But for deep learning models, as I said, the optimizers used was Adam. And the learning rate was different across different model. And you can see that for the learning rate was used was 0.01, and the other one was 0.005. So after training all this, um, these are the confusion matrix that were shown. And this one was the first configuration for the custom CNN, and you can see that the accuracy is 81%, which is basically low compared to even the classical ML model. Then you can see that this was the second attempt, which was 78%, which is very low. So these are transfer learning models, and these ones achieved a better accuracy, which was 0.95%, and this is probably because of the learning rate, which was 0.001. And you can see that the accuracy improved compared to the basic CNN because it's learning the words from the previous training. So the best accuracy achieved for efficient net was uh, actually the 95% that passed because the learning rate was 0.001, but it used and Adam as the optimizer compared to this one, which was Adam W. So for ResNet 50, this with configurations, and the first training was done with 0.005 and Adam as the optimizer, and accuracy achieved was 95%. So let's see which one performed better. This one, so this one had 0.005 as the learning rate, which is different from the one which had 0.001. So let's see which one performed better. So this one, we see that it has an accuracy of 96%, which is the best performing models compared to any other model. And this one is the confusion matrix, and it's showing that it's correctly identifying, classifying different classes of animals correctly, although there are some inaccuracies. So through this project, my mission is to try to implement a computer vision model into a camera tube that is able to monitor wildlife movements and also detect any poaching activities happening. So thank you for the time, and this is my project for CNN and classical models.